I first became aware of Charlie Munger through his vice chairmanship of Berkshire Hathaway, and of course used to love in those early meetings hanging around in the bar of the Marriott hotel up next to Borsheim's and talking about some of the fun things and wisdom that he'd shared with my friends. And sometime early in my learning of Charlie Munger, a friend and a Berkshire aficionado, John Lichter, gave me a recording of a talk that had been given, that Charlie Munger had given, I believe, at Harvard Law School, called 25 Standard Causes of Human Misjudgments. And that was on a CD. And I remember playing it in my car. I decided that there was so much wisdom there. That talk is now available on YouTube and actually has been summarized many times. But I made it my goal to listen to that talk as many times as I could because I wanted to pound the lessons in. And I must have listened to it more than 30 or 40 times. I just knew that I wanted to get as close to his ideas as possible. And I also started attending the Wesco financial meetings. At the time, Wesco was a publicly traded company, so I was a shareholder. It's now been subsumed by Berkshire Hathaway. And I will also remember the first time I saw Charlie Munger just walking to his car, I believe after one of the meetings at the Berkshire meetings where it was the Ascarbon Auditorium. And it was this shock of understanding that this man was at once a giant, but walked and breathed and talked and had no airs and graces. And so at some point I sent Charlie Munger a book. The one book I sent him, or one of the few books that I sent him, but the one that I remember is Journey to the Ants. And he wrote this lovely, very short note back, I believe on the back. He wrote back on the back of the business card of mine that I'd sent to him, saying, thank you so much, I'd been meaning to read it and now I have a copy. But it was so fun that he sent the business card back, because that was a demonstration of how he was saying, it's nice that you sent me your business card, but I have enough people in my life, so don't expect me to reach out and want to meet you in any way, shape or form. And I also asked him permission if I could copy that CD and distribute amongst my friends, to which he responded, again in very short form on the letter that I'd sent him, okay, but not for commercial distribution, was what I remember. And so my memories of Charlie and my appreciation of Charlie is at a distance, of course, starting at the charity lunch with Warren Buffett. Warren introduced Charlie to Mohnish, and Mohnish Pabrai has developed a far closer relationship with Charlie, and I've been very, very lucky to get the sort of echoes and the summaries of those conversations from time to time, and to have met one or two members of Charlie's family who, of course, adulate him and love him dearly. And so those are my memories of Charlie. Of course, I'm extraordinarily grateful to him for everything that he's taught me. And I think that what we now need to do is to follow a piece of advice that Charlie Munger gave, which is that he at some point in his life gave up on hanging out with much of humanity because he preferred the company, as he would put it, of the eminent dead. And so I think that what we are behooved to do now is to remember him well and to treat him as the eminent dead that he is. And we can continue to spend time with him and his ideas, unfortunately not living, but that is the nature of the human condition. So there are my thoughts on Charlie Munger. I have at one point one last thought. Mohnish Pabrai found a sculptor in India who made a very good likeness of Charlie, and I ended up in the first batch of bronze busts. I think I bought 5 of them, or maybe even 10, I'm not sure, of which I still own 2 or 3. One's in my office, one's at home, and I gave some out to some friends who have them in various places. I gave one copy to Nick Sleep, I remember, and one to John Miljevic, and one to my friend Rolf DeBelly. And so in bronze cast form, he's still with us with friends and the like. And again, one last thought is that when I first discovered Warren Buffett, I didn't have the opportunity to meet him, but I was able to build up a picture of how he thought about the world, and I was able to ask myself, what would Warren Buffett do in my shoes? And it was in a massive insight that I talk about in my book. And so we, of course, miss the man, but so much of who he was and of his wisdom is around us and left behind with us. And what we're required to do is to, in many, many circumstances, to say, what would Charlie Munger have done? What would Charlie Munger have said? And so there are my thoughts on Charlie, and of course my condolences to his family and the people who held close and dear to him, and the people who held him close and dear, including Mohnish and Lilu and Chris. I'm blanking on Chris's second name, Chris Davis, who I know were all very close to him, and a host of other people, and obviously Charlie and Doerthe. And so thank you, and hope this is helpful for those who listened.